Welcome and welcome back, everybody. We are continuing to watch this last video that Sadia Khan posted on her channel. The first 7 minutes were very interesting, so we're gonna continue where we left off. But first, I want to just emphasize on something very important, is that everything that I say on my channel is based on my opinion, and my opinion is based on either personal or clients' experiences. And when I say personal, that doesn't mean that it has to be something that I've been through. It could be also something that I've observed from people around me. And this space is not really for having a comfort zone. On the contrary, it's to challenge beliefs, to discuss, agree, disagree. We don't have to think exactly the same way. People are different, you know? My name is Manar. I'm a hypnotherapist and a coach. Whatever I say here doesn't really have to do with my sessions with clients, whether hypnotherapy or coaching, because I don't give advice in sessions. The sessions are about the client figuring out their own standpoints, their own solutions, dissecting their beliefs. The channel has my opinion, but whatever I say here has nothing to do with sessions. So with that being said, let's get into it.
I mean, we should each be not necessarily keeping, oh, you have 100 points and I have 100 points, but there should be some semblance of we're both contributing things in our own way, not do we split the chores.
Well, I think what the key difference in Western culture compared to in Eastern culture is that the women in the West still expect men to have a particular masculine role that might be providing and taking care of the home, but they resent feminine roles, which might be cooking or cleaning. They have a complete, like, that's not my job, but your job is this. And that's where it's different to the rest of the world, where the rest of the world see it as, of course, your job is to provide, and of course, I do the chores. Of course, there's no humiliation to that. It's not seen as degrading, and it's not seen as a bad thing, because doing household chores is actually a sign of self-respect. Like, you keep your house clean, you do things, you cook, you clean. It's a sign of femininity. It's actually what makes you a woman.
Okay, she's saying pretty good points. Is that it's not a degrading thing. It's not a sign of disrespect at all. I would say depends on your relationship with the person you're with. Are they seeing you as their equal? We're both contributing to this relationship in our own ways, or I'm the man, I am better and I am smarter, and you are a woman, you only do the cooking and cleaning because that's all that you're good enough for, Andrew Tate kind of shit, you know? So depends on how you look at each other. So that's where the balance comes from. That's where this respect or disrespect come from. This is where the degrading or maybe not degrading comes from. And then she says something very nice that I agree with. Doing the house chores is actually a sign of self-respect. Like, you keep your house clean. When you self-loathe, or when you have depression, or you're just not in a good mental state, you probably wouldn't take care of your cleanliness, the cleanliness of your house or your living space, your hygiene, all of these things, right? But when you say that I deserve a good space, a space that I feel comfortable with, a space that looks clean because I deserve that, then you would do all of these things. So I do agree with that. She says in the West, it's seen as derogatory. Maybe the people that she have met, because as I said, I travel a lot and I've known people from almost like 80% of the countries in the world, maybe 70, and most of them are Western. So I've seen the housewife, the Western housewife who does the cooking and cleaning. I've seen that. I've seen the girlfriend, the stay-at-home girlfriend or the stay-at-home mom who does all of these things. It's not a big deal. It's not a rule.
Whereas in the West, that's seen as derogatory. So I think the reason why they don't like they keep scores is because they see one as derogatory and the other one is just that's just your job. They don't actually have particular jobs that they see women as being assigned to, and that's why they resent doing anything in terms of hard labor around the house.
It's actually a good thing that you don't see like women are for this and men are for that. I haven't seen any rules that are coming from the sky, like women, you cook and clean, men, you go and do the work. And if we're gonna be like, oh, that's how it was, tradition, cavemen, blah, 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 then let's just all close our YouTubes and switch off our phones and get back to the cave life, get back to traditions, I guess. So why traditions is good in a specific manner or a specific direction and not good in others. Traditions are just things that people repeat and they become traditions. That's literally the definition of how something becomes a tradition. It's just something that is passed from a generation to the other. Does that mean that it's good? No. Does it mean that it's bad? No. It just means that it's something that has been repeated. We assign the meaning to that. We assign the meaning to things. So it is a good thing that the West doesn't see assigned rules. This is what men do and this is what women do. When you find yourself in a place where traditions are dictating what you do and what you don't do, you find yourself in a position of powerlessness, then you have two things. And that's actually something that Sadia said in her interview with AB Talks. You will find my analysis to that in the first video that I made about her. So when that happens, when you find yourself in that position, you either rebel or you make excuses. You start to like it so you can survive. You can guess from the name of the channel which one I am. And what happened with Sadia, and she actually says that very clearly in that interview, not this one, in AB Talks interview. She says that she chose to agree with these things and be like, oh, they must be right, because she couldn't rebel. So that's what's happening with her right now, right? She chose that path and she's sticking to it because she built all of her identity on that, based on that. And it is very hard to challenge your beliefs, right? And as I said in the beginning, this channel is for that, challenging the beliefs. This channel is for this hard work. And it's not fun to think and be like, oh, I guess I was wrong, but it is liberating. The more you change your beliefs and the more you detach with your identity, the more liberated and free you feel. But for her, this is her identity, and I get that it is hard to change and challenge your beliefs.
There is an asymmetry, unfortunately. And then there's lots of men that don't provide, and there's lots of women that split the bills and work really, really hard. So they have symmetry in that area. But the idea of cooking, cleaning being a feminine role is severely resented in the West, whereas everywhere else in the world, they take pride in that being their role.
Nah. It's not severely resented in the West, and not everywhere else in the world. People take pride in it. I haven't met everyone else in the world, and I'm surprised that Sadia met everyone else in the world. Good for you, girl. Places. So I'm from one of these areas, and no, I did not like it. I did not take pride in that. I was like, hello, who the heck told you that that's what I want to do? Have you asked me? No, I don't take pride in this shit. So she's talking in such absolutes. you know, again, just the people that she has met. So I'm against her saying it's severely this way in the West and it's severely that way in the East. Girl, like
But games and stuff like that is a new concept that's just quite exclusively in the Western world. The rest of the world sees dating as an opportunity to meet the love of your life, get married, and have kids. So it's a goal associated with it, with a bigger purpose. Whereas the goal in Western dating is who can win, who can break up with who faster, who can extract, who can leave quicker, who can have the least heartbreak and cause the most heartbreak. So the goals are just quite different when it comes to dating.
The reason why, in my opinion, and I'm not talking about everyone, but the reason why a lot of people in the East date to get married is because that's the only option. Dating, the freedom to date and choose the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, where I come from, is a new age thing. It's not because they have the option to date and be free, but they choose to date to get married. Do you know what I mean? What she's talking about is she's justifying oppression. She's putting a twist on it to make it sound good. It's literally Stockholm Syndrome. It's literally the Beauty and the Beast kind of a thing. Oh well, I'm here, might as well enjoy it. Might as well justify it. This is one of the reasons hurt people, is that they justify it and they want to confirm to themselves and validate to themselves that they're right and there's nothing bad or nothing wrong that's happening. So, and I'm saying with full compassion, you know, as I said in the first video, I came from a very similar background, so I get how hard it can be. Just because I chose differently, that doesn't mean that, oh my God, I'm a lot better than anybody. No, it's just that's what I chose. And, you know, people who are still in that position are going through their own journey, and God bless them, you know, whatever God that you believe in.
My honest advice to people is to check people's families rather than their education. Everything, the main thing is their families. Now, if you go, whether she's a village
successful entrepreneur, how was her father treated in her home is a really good indicator of what kind of wife will she'll be. And I tend to give you the advice that women in general work better when they have experience being a daughter first, then they go on to being a wife. Without the experience of being a daughter, skipping that and going straight to wife is a very difficult process for men and women. What I mean by being a daughter is she grew up in a home where the father loved, poured into, looked after, protected, provided for her. Provided doesn't mean luxury, it just means that was his role. Once she's received that, she learns to trust men and then go on and give the same love and adoration back. If you go into environments where the family is broken, whether she's from Eastern European, Western European, wherever she is, chances are her ability to love and adore and respect and trust is going to be a bit broken.
Yeah. How your family treats you, whether you're a man or a woman, the same goes for men. How your family treats you is a good indicator of how you might end up as an adult. How you might, not always. A lot of people grew up in very toxic households, and they were like, I'm not repeating that. That's not good for me. And I changed that. So it's not a rule, but she said it's an indicator. The chances are. So I do agree with that. I just wanted to put it out there that there are people who grew up in bad childhood and they rise up. So that's amazing. Okay, final thoughts. What I noticed from her branding or the way her messaging is, when you watch somebody like Matthew Hussey, by the way, it started raining and it's going crazy out there, so you'll probably hear it. What I like about Matthew Hussey is that his messaging is how to be more confident in dating, how to have more self-esteem in who you are, how to not be super pushy. He doesn't tell you how to not seem pushy or clingy. No, he tells you how to be confident in who you are so you don't be clingy or pushy. He is talking about self-improvement, self-development. He's solution-oriented. That's the word I'm looking for. Sadia, on the other hand, she is talking about problems. She's just, that's it. This is the problem. And when she was talking about Laura Sanch, what's her name? Laura what? The lady who got married to Jeff Bezos. She seemed to actually admire how smart she was, you know? She's talking about people who play games. These are the people that she's talking about, and she's not given any solution. All of her messaging, or a lot of her messaging, is when you do this, when you treat a woman right, then you're gonna be submissive. She also talked about submissiveness in that video. I honestly got bored with it. She's talking like, oh, if you're treating her nice, then you're submissive, then she's gonna get attracted to somebody else. You know, she's like talking about problems, and most of them are not true. She teaches you how to put your defenses up and kind of hold an armor if you go on a date. While Matthew Hussey or Esther Perel, especially Matthew Hussey, he teaches you how to go on a date with full confidence in your abilities to discern and really make assertive decisions about the person you're going on a date with and have fun. Also, Matthew Hussey actually said that he said something about the difference between being negative and being positive is, how do people feel after a conversation with you? Do they feel negative or do they feel positive? For me, when I watch a video of Matthew Hussey, I feel positive. I feel like I'm capable. But when I watch a video of Sadia, I'm like, dating sucks. So what type of feeling do you want to have after learning from somebody, or listening to somebody, or having a conversation with somebody? Do you want to feel positive, or do you want to be left feeling a bit negative, a bit blue, a bit down? You know, I just don't like her messaging, and I get that it's coming from her traumas and wounds that she did talk about. You know, if you want to know something about a woman, just go back and see how her father treated her. And it's ironic that she's also talking about that, because she did talk in A.B. Talk's interview that I analyzed in the first video about how her father treated her and was very strict, and she's got a father wound, and that's why she is the way she is now. So bless her. I don't think that any healing is coming to her anytime soon, but I hope it eventually does.